On my latest weapon review, I got a comment asking to make a video on how to use the deagle. And while I do plan on making that video in the future, I thought it'd be an even better idea to discuss something that not only relates to the deagle, but could also improve your proficiency in other weapons too. Today, I wanted to go further in depth on proper weapon handling and how I believe people should be using the weapon they are currently using to get the most effectiveness on it. So anyways, let's get started. I believe there are two main ways you handle weapons: tracing and flicking. For people who do not know, tracing refers to the act of tracking or following a moving target with your crosshair or reticle, similar to how one uses their eyes to keep track of a moving object. Flicking refers to a quick and precise mouse or joystick movement used to rapidly aim at a target, similar to how you may quickly look around your room for your phone. And while this is common terminology in games, SAR is no different. However, what I believe is different is how you utilize these techniques to your advantage given the weapons you are currently using. In SAR, there are weapons that are just better when you use either of the techniques I just mentioned. For instance, the revolver or deagle would be better when utilizing flicks more than tracing given their low recoil, high damage, and slow rate of fire. On the other hand, the AK and SMG is significantly more effective when utilizing tracing rather than relying on your flicks given their slow bullet velocity, low damage, and high rate of fire. This example actually brings me to my first topic: distinguishing weapons based off their effectiveness in either flicking or tracing. Let's first start with weapons that are more proficient when utilizing flicking. These weapons include semi-automatic weapons, like the bow, revolver, deagle, sniper, and shotgun. These weapons not only have low recoil, but synergize perfectly with the movement mechanics in the game. Let's quickly take a look at the movement mechanics. At any point, players can simply press the spacebar, or whatever button it is on console, to perform a quick dash that not only significantly increases your speed for a quick moment, but also does not really restrict your movement either. Another aspect of the dash is when timed correctly, one can chain multiple dash jumps to go even faster. With the dash in mind, semi-automatic weapons synergize perfectly with this mechanic, allowing players to shoot and jump at the same time, making you more unpredictable. Another aspect of flicking weapons I think players should keep in mind are the roles they are proficient at. Personally, there are two main ways I like using these guns: as a finisher for when I know an opponent is flesh, or as a poking tool when I try to make more space between me and an opponent. I like using these weapons as a finisher because while semi-automatic weapons tend to have a high damage per bullet, most still only go through one tick of armor. With this in mind, guns I like using more for poking and shredding armor are weapons that have a high rate of fire and utilize tracing rather than flicks, which is a perfect time to segue to another category of weapons: tracing weapons. Weapons I like categorizing as tracing weapons include the pistols, SMG, M16, minigun, and super right laser. Unlike flicking weapons, these guns are not as good when utilizing dashing given their low bullet speed, high recoil, and the fact you have to be stationary to use automatic weapons at their fullest potential. With this in mind, being around close to mid-range and catching the opponent off guard is the best way to use these weapons. Tracing weapons again are good at two things: shredding armor and at suppressive fire. Again, since most weapons do only one tick of armor per bullet, a high rate of fire is great to shred armor and leave an opponent flesh for your finisher weapon. Here are some examples of me utilizing these techniques. So this clip, I don't have a sniper on me, but I do have a deagle, so they're somewhat similar. So in this clip, you can see me use the silenced pistol to break his armor and then hit him twice for flesh. And then when I do that, I realize that he's one shot with the deagle and I use that to kill him. You could do the same thing again with a sniper, but you don't have to hit him 5 times, you just have to hit him 4 times at least. So in this example, I don't really have a good flicking weapon. I do have the dart gun, but the bullet speed's too slow. I'm not too confident with it, so I use a Tommy gun here. And even though I categorize this as a more stationary tracking weapon, you're going to see because of just everything happening here, I end up using it more like a flicking weapon. What I do is that I shoot 2 bullets and I jump. I'm mobile constantly over and over again. So this fight, in my opinion, probably would have gone a lot faster if I had something like a revolver or a deagle or a sniper, something like that. However, if I did have that in my inventory, I would have used the Tommy gun to break shields and the rest of the fight with the deagle. Yes! But you know what? The pyramid worked out really well, okay? There is also one more aspect of, I guess you can call gun handling, that I forgot to mention in this video, is that the roles also can be interchangeable depending on the scenario. Like here, for instance, because the person was so far away, the bullet speed from an automatic weapon that I have in my inventory, which is the Tommy gun in this instance, is probably so slow that they would be able to dodge the bullets really easily. So what I do instead is that I use the sniper to break all of their armor all at once. And then after that, what I do is that I engage knowing that they're flesh with my automatic weapon. And because, again, high rate of fire, I will be able to get that kill pretty easily when they're flesh. This also just depends on the finisher weapon that you have. The reason why I was able to do this is because a sniper is able to break all of the armor no matter what you have. Level 1, level 2, level 3. So I use that to my advantage, and I was able to engage them, knowing that they had no armor left.
I'll tell you how I knew he was going that way. It's because everyone's an idiot and I'm a genius. That's how I knew he was going to go that way.
Well, anyways, guys, that's the end of the video. As per usual, I'll leave some clips with some audio. Enjoy.
Called it.
Person here. Can we pretend I didn't see them? Okay, never mind. Usually they take the bait. Most people, they take the bait and try and go for me. Like that! Like that! Like that right there! Like that right there! That was terrifying.